Hello everyone and welcome to Streaming with Steven, where I am on the Citadel once again playing the Minecraft. Oh shoot, bear with me for 1 second. I forgot to initiate the closed captioning, so don't mind just hanging tight there for 1 second. I have yet to add that to my to-do list officially, so I'm going to get that up and running. It should just take a second. Bear with me. Oops. Dialect Canada. Start. And there we go. Okay, so that should be up and running now. Perfect. I'm back to the game. Sorry about that, everyone. Just doing what I can to make the stream a little bit more accessible to folks, even though it's not true closed captioning. I figured it's a good thing to do. So I am joined in spirit by Mr. Joel Duggan today. He's elsewhere on the Citadel, fixing a couple of the farms we've had go start misbehaving the last little while. So I guess one of the updates, I think it was 1.14, conked out some of the functionality of some of the farms. So yeah, so welcome everyone. I saw Man-Made squeak in there just as I was switching from, I guess, stopping the chat while I was getting the stream going live. So welcome Man-Made, and welcome to everybody else. Good to see you all here. Howdy background, Joel, that's right. Chat says hello. Oops. Says hello, Joel. There. Oops, bedtime. He's underground, so he doesn't have to worry, but I need to get to sleep. Need to get to sleep. That is quite the close-up, yes. That's one of the downsides of starting my streams in the safety of a little hidey hole like this, is that...
Dear.
Oh dear, already? And look, folks, Joel waves. Hello, waves Jedi hand. I'm not really here. Carry on. Nice. Alright, we've got Lennox in there with Hottie Boy right away. Alright. Let me get the timer set up. Oh, before I forget, LManduke14 has followed me since between last stream and this stream. So thank you very much. Stream, I should say. Timer is at the ready. Lennox, thank you very much for using your 2,000 viewpoints at this early morning here in Canada. Well, I guess it's not crazy early, but Hottie Boy, 2,000 points. Thank you so much. Here we go on the timer. Start. Alright, well, for those of you who weren't here last time, we spent the entire last stream lava lighting our pillars. In order to do so, we hollowed out half of each of the pillars and then used stairs along the inside and the corner of each so that the lava pouring down would shine through. Now this here is just I'd call an exquisite design choice. It was a combination idea of my younger son saying, "Father, dearest, you need to light the inside of the pillars." And I said, "Son, you're right, I'm just not sure how to do it." And my older son goes, "Oh, Father, I've got an idea." And I said, "Do tell." And he said, "You should use stairs with lights to shine through." And I said, "Brilliant." And I said, "Oh, dear sons of mine, I've got an idea as well. What if we do stairs the entire way up and use lava?" And we all said, "Oh, brilliant we are. All three brilliant ideas coming together to make one brilliant idea. Brilliant 3 times, that's right." And so we've got these 3 lovely lava pillars on the left. And no, we've got 1, 2, 3... 7 lovely lava pillars on the left, and 7 sorely neglected pillars on the right. Well, we need to do something about that today, don't we? Oh dear, lava is brilliant indeed. And so these poor neglected pillars need to be shown the warm love of lava. And so they can shine from the inside out and share their warmth and joy with all who pass by. Indeed. Alright, so without further ado, let's go up and mark where these pillars need to be hollowed out. Alright, there we go. Up, up, and away. And then we shall get on to the announcement. Oh, that's 2 minutes. Dear Lennox, thank you so much for using your 2,000 viewpoints on Haughty Boy. Thank you very much. Oh, alarm is still going off. No longer. Alright. Thank you very much. Oh, we've got this warm love of lava. Channeling my inner Alistair, that's right. Alright. Let's get up here, and then... It's announcement time. So I'm glad Cosmic is here, because this announcement is partially... well, it's partially for me, partially for Cosmic. So I've contacted the great Joel, and said, Joel, what would you think about a special Father's Day stream where I could have Firepith and Frostburn on with me? And the project I would like to tackle is Cosmic's Great Oak, because I have not gotten over there as often as I would like. And so I thought if I could get two of the fastest builders I know in person to come and help me tackle Cosmic's Great Oak, we could probably do a good dent of progress on that day. So, Father's Day in Canada 2021, which is June 20 something, I forget now. Third Sunday in June. Frostburn and Firepith are going to be joining me, and we are going to probably not finish off the Great Oak, but we are going to work on it together as a Father's Day stream project. So, yeah, that's my fun little announcement. Yay! Jump, jump, bow, bow. Shake that block. Shield. No, shield. There we go. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. They're not going to be doing voice on stream, just because that's just the choice of the day, and so that we don't have a lot of conversation going on. But yeah, we need to get that right. We've got the I forgot the command was there. Where's my shovel? There it is. All right. Yeah, for those of you not been here for the shovel shake before, this is it. Shake that shovel, shield, shield. Shake that shovel, bow. Shake that shovel, shield, shield. Shake that shovel, jump, bow. Woohoo! Got it first try that time. Not too shabby. So I'm pretty excited. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Boys and I spending some time together. Nice little Father's Day project. Oh, look at me. I'm smart. I'm wicked smart. I left these uncovered and ready to dig. So I know I can go... Actually, no. You stay right there. We are going to... we only need to do the inward-facing ones, because I hollowed out the entire core of some of the other ones, but that was completely unnecessary. No need. I think so. It's gonna be fun. So 10:30. No, 10 o'clock. Did I go down too far? I went down too far. 10 o'clock. Atlantic's daylight savings time. We're gonna have the boys and I will be working on the Great Oak. Looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a blast. So Joel has graciously agreed, or allowed me to whitelist the boys so they can come on just for the day. Oops, and that'll be good. All kinds of good. Oh my goodness, we're gonna need to make a trip down for... See, I'm low on cobblestone, so we will get the... Getting pretty low on that pickaxe there. We're gonna have to go mend that today. Yesterday you killed the Ender Dragon and the Wither for the... Ooh, I haven't actually killed a Wither before, but Ender Dragon I have, and that's a huge accomplishment. So I'd say Wither, just based on my personal experience, bigger accomplishment because I've not done it. So that's awesome. A beacon, yeah. There are a number of beacons around the Citadel. None of which I have contributed, by the way, but one of these days I'll have to get a beacon of my own. My sons keep telling me I have to get one. So I shall, someday. So congratulations, Lennox, that is awesome. It's funny that when you use a regular pickaxe you get cobblestone, but you don't get cobble andesite. Ugh. Children. Seriously, is there like a zombie spawner or something going on here? Alright, well I kind of feel bad about this, but... I don't have any lava on me. I would just pour it down, but... Children, this is neither the time nor place. Oops. Well, I will need actually one of those stairs gone, so I'll just leave that as the stairs that are gone. Alright, cool. Oops. We've got that ready to go. And how's the music balance now? Because I'm not doing the, Steven, dude was just taking his kids out for a family visit to the Stairmont. They didn't pay admission! They did not pay admission. And so, yeah, clearly, regulations for unpaid tickets or just sneaking your way in, very severe here at the temple. Very severe. The goddess Asteria does not take lightly to such matters. So I've got andesite stairs on me. More andesite stairs. Actually, a good amount of andesite stairs compared to how many we need. We need to make some more stone stairs. Let's put some cobble away. Actually, this is not my initial plan for the day, folks, but let's just take a quick trip to the Nether. I don't want to cobblestone all my stone away. I do need that for stairs and things, so we're going to go and repair that quickly. So I believe everyone on stream today has been to our gold farm. And in case ye haven't, that's where I'm headed today. Oh my goodness, and I've got my elytra on. That was not smart at all. So we're going to stop somewhere quickly to drop off the elytra and hopefully not get mauled by piglins. I do not see any. Fantastic. So we will take that off and put that away. And then we shall run to the gold farm, lest we be accosted by piglins. Let's get the bow out because there's almost always a ghast waiting for us on these stairs. Ooh, we've got an ender dude out. Oh, miss, you lost 2 sets of enchanted diamond armor and... Ooh. Reminds me to bring the price of admission next time I visit. That's right. Oh, that's unfortunate. Lennox. Most unfortunate. So far, uneventful, and I am 100% okay with that. Every once in a while I mean to bring some cobblestone walls out here and just make this a little bit safer for my own sanity, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I guess hunger does catch up on you when you're running around in your armor. Oh yes, and I forgot. 1 week from today, bingo starts. It'll be my 1 year Twitch anniversary next Sunday, and we're introducing Minecraft bingo. Looking forward to it. It's funny. I don't know if I should. I've called it bingo, but it is definitely not your average bingo. And I may change the name of it at some point. I just know that because I know that Anna Inferno was looking to bring some sort of Minecraft bingo to streaming on the Citadel. So if that does indeed happen, I might change the name of mine to something else. But your friend who plays way more than you do and has a lot of things, so gives lots of stuff. Oh, that's cool. Nice. Generosity is good. Deer pants. You're almost gone. Fire protection. Right, and then we need to, for the sake of all of you and myself, we need to turn hostile creatures down and friendly creatures down. Otherwise, it's gonna be loud up there. I don't have any snowballs on me, of course. I always have snowballs on me when I don't want snowballs on me. Alrighty. Snowballs. Let's see if I can. I've only grabbed one of them, so let's see if I can do this in one shot this time. I was unsuccessful last time. Boop. Yeah. It's Angry Piglin time. Let's just power everything up. Mind you, I don't think there's much that needs to be powered up. I think my Elytra is fully powered up. It is. Cool. Soul speed boots, durability, power. Yeah. So we'll have this pickaxe powered up in no time. Hey, Spare Mist, welcome. Good to have you here today. Just doing a quick power up of my Silk Touch pickaxe. I'm in our gold farm here, so it won't take very long at all. It was almost down to the red in less than about 30 seconds ago. 30 seconds to a minute ago, and now we're almost full powered. And we'll just might as well do the shovel while we're here as well. It has been a while, but that's cool. I'm glad you're able to make it. I understand that life is busy, so I appreciate you taking the time to make it when you can. That's awesome. Come on, piggies. There we go, there's a few of them. Pickaxe, almost done. Well, we'll just top up this shovel now that we're here, and then we will depart. You got done with the is? I apologize, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Oh, the international... Were you doing an International Space Station? I apologize, I forget now. Is that was your Minecraft project, wasn't it? Come on, pigs. Almost there. You can do it. Right on. We're done. Yes. Nice. Took me a moment, but I remembered. Alright, then we head down here. Oops. See if we can take some gold with us to go replenish Piglinda. Everything is good. Let's turn up hostile sounds again so that we know when we're being attacked. Or at least about to be attacked. Silent creepers are the worst. That's a lot of gold. That's a lot of gold. How are your streams? From the ones that I saw, they seemed fine. Sound was good. That's a good question. I am not sure. Bedtime for you, Obsidian. No worries. Thank you very much for popping by. Actually, your stream, I don't know if I've gotten notifications for your stream, Spare Mist. I'm sorry, I was confusing with someone else. I saw you go live one day, and then by the time I got there, it was canceled. I think you were having technical issues, so I apologize. I don't think that I had... I didn't bring any coal with me. That's one of the things I need to do, is bring down a whack coal. Because one thing we are lacking down here is coal, and I've got a bunch of charcoal up in... We are going to work on the temple today, indeed. I'm just grabbing some gold. Can you make gold blocks? You can make gold blocks. Of course you can. That's a stupid question. Not a stupid question, but a silly question I should know the answer to. So get all the blocks. Let's do... So we're not going to spend a whole ton of time doing this. Okay, let's just drop a bunch of stuff on the ground. We'll grab a bunch of gold. And then we will be on our way. Cool. Always nice to replenish Linda's crew after them helping us out so much. Did I grab 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 9 would have been fantastically convenient. But we didn't, so. Way to go, Steve-O. Why aren't you doing the thing? What? Oh, because that's why. It is not the right thing. Grabbed the bars as opposed to the nuggets. Come on, Steven. Grabbing the wrong things all over the place. I think so. Normally referred to as the donut farm. Folks sometimes build on the roof of the nether. Nice. I did not know that. There we go. That's going to be enough for now. Cool. This should be good to replenish those nuggets. And there are no bars right there, so we are good. We got everything? Fantastico! Back to the temple to work on the pillars of lava. You said press shift? I missed what the press shift was for, sorry. Oh, so the finish the temple? Oh, sorry, I missed that spare mist. We're not going to finish the temple today, but we are going to definitely put a good dent into it. Now that we figured out how to light the pillars, we're going to light the full set of pillars on the north side. To get lava. Well, I've got buckets of lava already, so it should be good. I'll be back for lava. And I'm sorry if I misunderstood what you were saying. Oh. Those things freak me out. They're so fast. I know that when it comes time to punch a piglin in my bingo challenge, I'm going to very much regret it. Especially if those little dudes are chasing me. I don't know if I like this view better while going up the stairs or not. Definitely don't like that one. That's a little nerve-wracking. And so if we've got more gold than we need for Linda and her crew, then I'm going to make some gold. We've got enough gold. I'm going to make some gold carrots, because that's something I've been wanting to make for a little while now. I thought one of them had gotten out. How did you get out? Gold, gold. Alright, now they are full. You're not getting into arguments back there, are you? Alright, so I've got some damage control I need to do in here. I'll need to come back with some proper, some sand. I think that's just smooth sandstone there. Yeah, it is. So I need to do some smooth sandstone stair for that one spot, and then finish off the back. When will I make a stream play along? It's something I've been trying to figure that out. I don't know that I will for sure. But I think I'm going to, one of these days I need to get a, well, I guess first of all, and this is not meant as a request for financial support or anything, but once Twitch starts making subscribers get high enough that what I make month to month would pay for a server, then I might do that every once and set that up. But as of right now, I don't have the spare money to set that up, so it's as of yet not a thing. And it would never happen, and this isn't meant to sound mean, but it would never happen on the Citadel here, because this is I am not the owner of the Citadel. Wait, is that the Silk Touch? Yes. And so this is only for Joel Duggan's. Joel Duggan is the... I love how that changes to snow, partway up the stairs. Joel Duggan is the owner of the Citadel server, and his only his real-life friends play here with him. It's true, it's true. True, we could do a free server one of these days. I'll keep that in mind as well. Part of me would like to make it a little bit higher quality than the free ones, but... Actually, let's do this, because I want to mark specifically where the center of these squares are. So put stone in here, because that's what I want to do. Oh, gold sword. Not at all what I needed, but okay. Didn't even realize I'd picked that up. And that way we can have... Basically, once the lava's poured in, I want these to be... That's good. They're going to be capped off with cobblestone, so if I ever need to dig down, I can find them easier. They'll be the only cobblestone things at the top. Did I do that here? Look at me being smart on that one. And right idea, wrong material here. Yeah, it has been a nice weekend so far, Cosmic. Thank you. It's been, jeez. Well, thank you for making noise before you showed up. Not far enough. We can get a good server. Okay, well. If you know any good free servers, please do let me know. Because I know I had heard of a couple of them, but one of them took forever to load anytime we were going to do anything, so I didn't really do that. But I am at some point going to, my single player world, I'm going to bring into onto a server as well, just because I would like to... I haven't decided whether I want to open that up, or if I do, how I want to open it up to other people. But I want to play on it a bit on my own first, to sort of set up a lot of the things on it. You can host one that can hold up to 10 people. Cool. Sounds like it would be fun. So we are in the pillar. And are we at the right height? Or did we went one too low. Which means we can take this out. Super fast. Cool, cool. Happy Sunday, Alcor. Oh my goodness, sorry, I've got something in my mind. Sorry, folks. Thing in the eye. Lurking at band practice. Alcor, you actually have, I've actually changed it so you can do lurking here. Because I always wanted to do it on Joel's and I couldn't. So I've got you can do lurk or lurking. Actually, I don't... Actually, needs a bit of food in the system here. And I almost ran out of food, which is one of the bingo things for next week. But thankfully, I remembered to go get some potatoes before the stream started. So they're cooking below, so they should be done cooking by now, so I should go replenish. It's almost bedtime. Well, not really almost bedtime, but I'll have my usual sip of tea when I go to bed. Unless Joel beats me to it. Is he still on? He's still on. Alright. Originally I was going to do one pillar at a time. Alright, Spare Mist, I'll sip tea in a second. But I'll ask that you kindly not repeat things in the chat over and over again. Because we will get to it eventually. Oh, I heard a zombie. Or did I hear a zombie? Hello, Moon Girl. Welcome to the chat. Good to see you here. Saw Elkhorn pop in. Oh, and Firepith. Hello, Firepith. I didn't see you pop in. Joel Duggan has left the game. Oh, we've got some smooth sandstone stairs. Okay. And then, so what was I doing? I need to empty some of the goodies I've got on me. Cobblestone, gunpowder, not needed. Oh my goodness, I so need to organize this at some point. Oof. So we got that dug out, and that's good. And then we are going to need... Nor did I. Let me see, that's a good point. I didn't realize it either. What do you play, Elkhorn? Well, this may have been a conversation had with CJ at one point when we were talking about instruments, but I completely forget. Let's take some cobblestone and cook it up. Take the potatoes out.
It's Tuesday!
Is it Tuesday? Who is that? That was man-made. Hello. Okay, 1 second. I gotta get some cobblestone in here. Cooking. Get some potatoes out. More cobblestone. Cooking. Percussion. Nice. Okay, make sure I'm not gonna get blown up here. Oh, actually, bedtime first. So we'll go to sleep. And you sing? Nice. That's awesome. The man-made Tuesday, right on. Catching a nap, sipping the tea whilst catching a nap. Tea has been sipped. Cool. Alright, man-made, thank you very much for using your 2,000 viewpoints on Tuesday's Child. So get the timer going here. 2 minutes on the clock. Here we go. Okay, so far I have dug out half of these 2 pillars. And they are looking very hungry because they are not full at all. So I need to go up and continue down so I can pour the lava and it'll be good once it's done. You believe me, it's just too. Aldebar passes out stair-shaped snacks to chat. Oh, Aldebar, you are my favorite. Stair-shaped snacks are the best snacks, especially when served on a Tuesday. Alright, so now we have hollow. Oh, and I was going to go down in the corner here, that's right. Dig down. We'll go 2, and then we go out. I don't know if that is far enough, but I may have to ask children for directions if it is not. I think we are good. Okay, super duper scooper. Super duper scooper. Alright, and once we get this done, then we will go and make all sorts of stairs. We'll buy stairs by the dozen. Or the baker's dozen, because who doesn't like a 13th stair, even though some places that is luck most unfortunate to hamsters. So, but we are going to make all kinds of them, and we will distribute them freely among the population of Asteria, and they'll be good. Oh yes, oh, we're too far! Goodness me. Who let this guy out of the barn? You went far too far. Okay, and I collect all the goodies. And that one has come down. So yeah, the stair count. We placed a whole bunch of them last time, and we are over 7,000 stairs this time. So we went from 6,400 and something to 7,240. It's pretty crazy. It's busy stairs day last day. And we're going to even put more stairs in all of these pillars here. Oh, that is the timer. Stop. So, Man-Made, thank you again for using your 2,000 viewpoints on Tuesdays, child. Much appreciated. And thank you for playing along with the song. I don't know what that means. Thank you. That is a lot of stairs, yeah. Maybe we should try to think of something fun to do when we reach 10,000 stairs. I don't know if there's a need to do anything other than go, hey, that's 10,000 stairs. Woohoo! But I'm not really sure what could be done to celebrate 2,000 stairs. Oh, I did that already. Look at me being smart. Alright, so that is good. There we go. Already full on stairs. Okay, what do I need? Oh yes, the ever-present rotten flesh. Ever-present, never needed. Do this, though. Actually, I don't know why I did that. I should leave the 5 down there. And then as soon as they're gone, I will... Wait, what happened? 5? Okay, that was weird. Alright, we're good now. Sometimes I find my inventory does not behave the way I want it to. There we go. Yeah, so last time I did this, I hollowed out some of the pillars completely and then realized for the second half of them that was very not necessary. So this is, I'm only need to hollow out half of them, so that's good. Oh, as I was mentioning earlier on in the stream, I messed up my I didn't get my closed captioning set up properly. But the service that I use actually allows, it basically takes all of your transcript and keeps it for you, so when you're done, not that it's 100% accurate, but you can actually copy and paste it into your YouTube video afterwards if anyone else uploads their videos to YouTube. And it will auto-sync what you said with the words that you pasted in. It's pretty cool. So then that way my YouTube videos can have the same captions that my Twitch streams had. I think it's pretty nifty. And we'll take that one out. We need to go empty some inventory. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know that it was 100% intentional that those two services work together, but it's neat that... I think YouTube introduced that very recently, so that if you didn't have actual closed captioning, but you can actually, if you wanted to have honest-to-goodness closed captioning, you can go in and type everything manually over what you've spoken. So if you had a short video and you wanted to add captions, you can go and type it all in. Which I think is pretty cool. Alright, so we're good. Let's go clean up some of this mess. Not that I want the, not in a huge rush to get the rotten flesh back. But, you have a suggestion. Alright, Lennox, let's hear this suggestion. That's good. Wait. I have a suggestion, but wait for it. Wait for it. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, dig. Oh, which way am I facing? Right, that's the right way. Which means those were not to be removed. But these ones are. Usually I'm too late, but that time I dug out too early. Do I have stairs there? Wait. Oh no, I was right. Or I just totally messed it up. Oh well, no big. We are where we need to be right now. So maybe I'm missing what you were saying, Linux. Are you asking me to wait because your suggestion is coming? Or the suggestion was to wait? But either way, I'm good at waiting. Because I'm going to be here digging for a good chunk of this stream. So you think doing all the pillars first? It's coming. Okay, fair enough. Don't pressure me, Steven. Hey, Crazy Chef. Good to see you. Welcome to the chat. To the chat and the stream. I'm doing well, thank you very much. I am hollowing out pillars, or basically the pillars that I created before. Or Crazy Chef, have you seen what I'm working on right now? I can't recall. Oh my goodness, I almost jumped off here thinking I had my, Nope, okay. I don't have my elytra on me. I thought I did, and I was about to just about to jump off. Fun facts. Fun facts. Yes, potentially we should. Alright, so once I'm down at a safe... Ooh, there we go. At a safe height. Hey, Kendo! Good to see you. Welcome. Just about to do a little bit of a show and tell here. Crazy Chef, because Crazy Chef has not seen what I'm working on. So in case there are any folks in the chat... Oh, I didn't finish that part off. Who are not familiar with what I do, I am... Hi there. My name is Steven, aka Steven ESC, and I am one of the streamers who play Minecraft on the Citadel with Joel, Cosmic, Alistair, Megan, and Anna Inferno. So my current project... Oh, fun font facts. Ah, that means I'd have to bank up a lot of fun font facts. So, what I'm working on right now, I call it the Temple of Ascension. I don't think I ever went up the ladder from this point of view before, and it's hilarious that I just don't have to move. I don't have to move my arms or legs at all, and I can just climb a ladder. It's brilliant. Yes, you've probably seen me in Aldebar's stream chat off and on as well. So my current project is the Temple of Ascension, which is a giant stair monument. It is 64 by 64 blocks, and yeah, that's essentially. I have a thing for stairs. I'm a fan of the stairs. It's an ongoing joke for myself in Minecraft. It all started with when I first started playing Minecraft with my sons. They'd been playing a lot. I need to get somewhere. I need to get to a bed. That was just the temple, yeah. So when I started playing with my sons, they were much more proficient than I was, and they'd do a lot of mining. So they would dig down and look for ores, and then, of course, when they dig down, they would go down, just dig down and down and down, and spiraling staircases or spiraling block cases down. But it would be like this. So it would go down a block, down a block, down a block, over and over again, and then I would follow them like this lost puppy, not really sure what I was doing. Oh, so you can make a command which is like lurking, but when we have the stream opened and we are listening and you're not watching, so just make a command which is like lurking, but when we have the stream opened and we are listening. Oh, interesting. All right, I'll just screen capture that one. That's an interesting idea. So like instead of visually lurking, it's just like listen lurking. All right, I'll have to check that out. I think just in terms of, they may be the same thing. But that's an interesting idea. Maybe we can put that in. It wouldn't hurt to have two commands. It doesn't take any extra effort. But thank you for the suggestion. I will look into that. Yes, so, right, when we used to dig down far below the surface and I would follow them, it wasn't so bad going down, But the going back up, like the hopping up these blocks over and over again, I said, oh man, this is tiresome hopping up all the time. And I wasn't very good at it yet. And then so I forget which one of my sons said, they said, you could always make stairs. I'm like, what do you mean I can make stairs? And so they showed me how to make stairs, and then for the first number of excursions that we did below the surface, we would dig our way down, and then I would promptly, it was my responsibility, and so I would promptly build a staircase to bring us all the way back up. Oh my goodness, that's it. That was not intended. Womp womp. Thankfully, the bed was nearby. Yard sale, folks. A yard sale. That's what that emote is for, and that's what that is called when all of your stuff goes all over the place. I don't even know what happened there. It's like, I think probably talking too much and not paying attention to what I was doing. Sadness. Always love a good yard sale, yes. And fun fact, folks, Moon Girl was the one who introduced me to the idea of the yard sale, so thanks go to her for the concept and then the idea for the emote. Alright, so this is what my civilian clothes look like. That's awesome. Boots. Those pants must be just about done. Yo! Actually, hold on. I should not hang out here in the dark and re-equip myself because I've been blown up before. Like when you're doing something else and just listening without watching the stream. Gotcha. Civilian clothes. Alright, cool. I will keep that in mind, Linux. Right. Let's go get the Elytra back on because that I tried to deploy the Elytra, but there was no Elytra, so let's do that. It's crazy, chef. And so this is okay. What I'm doing right now is I lost track of what I was doing because I started talking about the stairs in general. So, oh, and the other reason why stairs became a thing is because in my single player world, I I found a sunken ship, and I basically said exactly what's in chat there. Oh look, a sunken ship with a chest. But first, gotta grab them stairs. And so I went and grabbed all of the wooden stairs that were there before I even decided to go looking for the treasure. So on this half of what I'm doing on the north side of the temple over there is the same thing I've done here, whereas I've hollowed out half of each one of the pillars and then done this stair pattern going up like this. And then I pour lava from the top inside the hollow part. And so, yeah, actually next time it goes to nighttime, I will come over here and show you what it looks like, because it's pretty fantastic. Pretty pleased with how it's coming along. Oops, let's go through our broken stairs here. And it's only broken because I haven't figured out what stone I want to put back in. And now that I am, I guess, done explaining a couple of things. Actually, let's do a quick fly around. It's been a little while. So for those folks who have only been on my stream for a little while and seen me working on the stairs, the first project I ever worked on was my main home in Dartmouth Meadows, which is a giant spruce tree. And so we're going to take a quick peek at that. There it is. The great spruceling, indeed, Firepith, indeed. So, actually, I don't know why I came up here first. Let's go down here to take a look at it. Oops, missed that treetop. And now, which way am I facing? So we landed on the wrong treetop. Womp womp. Okay, so this is my giant spruce tree. This is the first thing I built. It's basically first thing I built on this server anyway. It's 3 times larger, or 3 to 4 times larger than your average spruce tree. And this is the interior space that my elder son Frostburn designed, with all kinds of awesomeness here. It's been overrun by chickens, but otherwise in good care. Thankfully they don't use the washroom here. Technically it's the second thing. First thing Oh, the first one, this is just a storage room. It's not been figured out yet. The first one was, I guess, the first version of the spruce tree, but then it burnt down in a lightning storm. This is my bedroom. This is a creepy thing to scare me when I wake up that Alistair left me. Yes, Frostburn. He designs my interior. He's also designed an interior for this bedroom that I have yet to build. So I need to chat with the lad, and he's going to send me the world so that I can view it while I'm on stream, and I'll build it while I'm on stream. And then this is the the look-off pad, so you can get a good glimpse of everything around. And then I've got one that's even higher. That is essentially my Elytra launch point. And this is probably arguably the best view of Dartmouth Meadows here. Oh, that command does need to be updated. You're right. Nice. Thanks, Crazy Chef. And so I guess the other big project I'm working on, and it's he has a 2050 personal best now. That's right. 7 from affiliate. I know, it's pretty exciting. So we need to get that number up, and then get the average of viewers up a little bit, and then it'll be a full-blown affiliate. Woot woot. So this is the other big tree I'm working on. This is Cosmic's Great Oak. Oh, can I land on that? Is that wishful thinking? Yes, it's wishful thinking. Oh my goodness. Thankfully there was water there. So this... You plug too as well? Sure, if you like, that'd be awesome. We all have a scary statue of Alistair. We do, indeed. Thanks, Crazy Chef. So this is something that has been in work for a long time, and I keep feeling bad that I'm not progressing on it as quickly as I would like. So I come in and pick away at it every once in a while, but it's a lot of detail work right now, so you can see a lot of the branches have been from my fox in the boat then. I was as well. It is really looking heckin' good, you're right. So a lot of these branches have been roughed in, so they're very blocky, but then basically now it's taking those blocky branches and detailing them out so they all come to a finer point. So this is, I've done probably about half of the branches detailed, and so I come over here and pick away at a couple of, oh, thanks, Aldebar. Yeah, Frostburn's going to be streaming next Wednesday, 7:30 Atlantic, 7:30 in the evening Atlantic Daylight Savings Time, and he's doing a lot of speed running these days, so that is what you will be in for Wednesday's show. So yeah, this is, because it's a lot of detailed work, I don't always like to do this on stream because it looks like doing the same thing over and over again, and it's hard to see the progress. I love working on it, but just it's not the, I guess it's not the, and I don't mean this to sound mean, Cosmic, and you know I say this all the time. It's not always the most interesting for me to work on stream-wise because I don't have a lot to talk about while I'm doing it. It's the same, you know, place a stair, place a trapdoor, place of this, place of that, and it's just going from one branch to another, and it's a very, very fun but time-consuming thing. So that's the, yeah, for those of you who weren't here at the beginning, Father's Day stream, that morning, Frostburn and Firepith are going to join me, and we're going to tackle this beast. And we're going to get all kinds of progress done on it. Builds are hard when progress is hard to see, yes. It seems like you're not getting anywhere. Agreed. So those are the big things I've worked on so far. I'm a little bit later to Citadel compared to... Me too, Firepith, very much so. And so I'm probably going to have Firepith and Frostburn in my ear with Discord, but not live to everyone. Cosmic Dancer really loves flowers. Indeed, you are correct. Oops. Yeah, it's gonna be a blast. And I say that I've already checked with the great Joel Duggan, and he is cool with that. Yeah. Still, the cool kids are saying heckin' these days. Why not, Moon Girl? I think it'd be a lot of fun. And I think that stream's going to be great as well because we can sort of... I mean, they know already they're going to be like the little worker bees that are just working on it non-stop. You know, taking breaks here and there, but I'm going to be the one to take mini verbal breaks every once in a while as I talk to chat. So I think we're going to... Basically, 3 people working on it faster than I would normally work on it on a stream. I think we'll get a lot of progress done on it, so I'm pretty excited about that. Let's just take a moment while we're safe and refigure out this inventory. Shovel, there. You there, you there, you there. You don't need the rockets right now. An axe there. Okay. You don't need the hoe either. We need stairs. That's what is next on the agenda. Food, and then stairs. Cool. So those are my contributions to the Citadel thus far. I have done a giant mushroom warped mushroom tree in the Nether, but it's a fair ways off, so I'm not going to head down there right now. We'll head down another one of these days, but nope, we haven't hollowed them out yet. I was just trying to figure out what's the next step here. Is it hollowing and more out, or filling them back in? So we've got that one done. We've got 2 more to do. Oh, what a waste of an arrow. What a waste of an arrow. I feel bad just sniping an unsuspecting creeper, but they've got zero qualms about sneaking up behind you and going, hey buddy, skadoosh, and blowing you to kingdom come. Blowing you to bits. Father's Day is June 20th, I believe. Yes. I couldn't remember the exact... Okay, let's be careful this time. Let's not die like we did last time. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dig! Oops. You stay right where you are, sir. Yeah, I was going to check again. I couldn't remember the exact date. I just knew that it was the 3rd Sunday in June. So, thanks for confirming that, Cosmic. Much appreciated. Any resources for that stream? I think we're probably going to need, we probably need some. I've got a whack of spruce, which we'll be using for the detailing from my spruce farm over there. That's one of the reasons I created it. So I've got a bunch of logs here and a bunch of logs that I brought over last time, but we will need some, I think some oak leaves. So when I was asked, Firepith asked me, said, do you have a lot of oak leaves? I think so. He said, do you have like two double chests worth? And I said, probably not. I will work on that. So if we can get, yeah, so we get 2 double chests of oak leaves. It'll probably be a good start, I'll say. Just came in an idea in your head. What if swords with fire aspect with harvesting crops would make big? That would be amazing. Just swipe the sword, swing the sword through the air, and you've automatically got baked potatoes. That was nice. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. Yeah, the hoe, so that we give the hoe more uses. But the fire aspect would be, if we could add fire aspect to the hoe, that would be awesome. Good idea. You'd be just the fire reaper of the potato harvest. Is it OP in? What makes it overpowered in 10 or 117? Do tell, I am unaware. What makes it OP? Is it suddenly a viable weapon? We've got one more to do, and we just build these fantastic things back up. Already has more uses. Yes, fair enough. Well, I actually like the fact that it's good for harvesting leaves on trees and for warped mushroom goodies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dig. And let's put, oh, I don't have any cobblestone on me. Well, let's get some. That's all we needed. It was 2. So we can mark where the top of this is. And then we'll dig our way down. Good, good. In the upcoming combat update, it'll have extra reach. Oh. Interesting. So, actually is a decent weapon. Nope, that's a mistake. Speaking of Big Salty Pond, I am overdue for one of those. It's been tough to get to this last little while. I've had a hard time figuring out the the story for that, so that needs to get done though. Perhaps I should spend some time on that this evening. Sometimes the stories and the jokes for Big Salty Pond come very easily, and I can have 2 of them written in no time. But other times I'll sit at my computer a couple of times and just can't figure it out properly. Oops, right, this one's built into the wall, so I have to be aware of how this one's going to come down. It's probably only going to come down a couple of more. More. Okay. Once we're done this, we'll build it back up. I won't be going any, actually that's the lowest point right there where it connects to the wall. Okay, we're good. We're good, we got it. But I will need to pay attention here as well. Not too bad though. Gotta go have lunch? Okay, no worries. I'll be on for, it's up to you. I'll be on for another probably hour and a half. So enjoy your lunch, Lennox, and yeah, we'll be catching you later. So we need to dig that one. Actually, that one's going to be visible from the side, so I'll do that one. Oops, not that one. Then I think it's just these ones for the rest of the way down. Alright, Fire Pit, thanks for popping by again, as always. See us back again soon, I hope. So let's fill this in because this is annoying me. We need mossy bricks and regular bricks. Which I believe are in chest number 3. Where are the regular ones? Oh, there. Cool. And I will fill in those. I think that is all. Cool. No more falling down in those. Alright, so we are done hollowing out all of those, which is fantastic. Now we need to go make some stairs. And I love me some stairs, so this will be good. How much? Let's put back. Yeah and yeah. Cobblestone can go in here with the rest of you. We've got a bunch of stone and eggs. Why have we got eggs? Thanks, Cosmic. I often forget that we have the stair command now. It's been a while. So stone stairs. Stone stairs. We'll probably need a bunch of those. Let's just make all the stone that we've got into stone stairs. And then andesite. Yeah, we'll make those into andesite, into stairs as well. Lucky from the chickens that moved into your... That's probably exactly what it was. I wasn't paying attention. Yes, and dear Minecraft, allow eggs to be cooked and made into a useful food on their own without needing to be baked into a cake, because they're everywhere. Even if they only provided a little bit of food, ugh, it'd be so nice because they're an everywhere thing and a real food. Gosh darn it. Alright, so we go up here. We've got our andesite stair. Doot. Oh. I guess we took that out. I did not even realize. We go like that. The egg update. That's right. Specifically, the egg update. I've got some stone on me. Excellent. So 1, 2, 3. We'll do that, that, and that. 1 there, and we'll do 2 over here. Then we shall switch to the stone stairs. Yes, nighttime. Why wouldn't the baddies come out right about now? I should probably actually go to bed instead of just being silly about this, because one of them could drop down on me from above, and that would be most unfortunate. To the bed! Oof! Punched me on the way by. Another person not paying the price of admission. Exactly. Don't worry. We've got my ticket puncher at the ready here. There we go. Ticket has been punched. And if it's not stairs, if it's not stairs, that is a 100% missed opportunity. Let's put this pickaxe there because we don't need that. Alright, there we go. So this part should go pretty quickly now that it's all stone stairs. Should. Oh my goodness. Why, Steven? Why? Yep. New possibilities for yard sales here. Just for you all. I am not the stair god per se, just like maybe the stair super fan. The stair goddess, as we've determined, is her name is Asteria, and it is she, after she, who the town is going to be called. So I'm going to have a town in front of the temple here. So, sorry, clearing my throat. So I'm going to remove this tree farm here, probably to the back, and make it more efficient than it is. But at the base of there's a path that comes out of the base of the stairs here that's going to continue along here and be the main street of a town that I'm going to build in here. It's going to be the town or the village of Asteria. Asteria. A-S. Like a stair, and then Ia at the end of it. And I think I'm also going to connect this river in around here like this. And I like the idea of the entire area being surrounded by a river. So that'd be kind of neat. Either way, that's my my eventual plan. Of course, all of the stairs will be, or all of the houses will be stair-shaped. Like the various stair-shaped blocks that you can do in Minecraft. So some of them will be corner stairs, some of them will be upside down stairs, right side up stairs. But yeah, they'll all be stair-themed. I mean, what else would they be, right? Four. Two. And then there. Boop. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, it's funny, I don't even know why, but every time I get up high, I go quiet because it's like the chance of dying from a height is much realer, much more real. Realer is probably not actually a word. So yeah, I go quiet. Into the details and into the treachery of high places. This should be the last set of them. Doot, doot, doot. Yes, we're good. And then we'll light this one up so you can all see how it's, well, not that it's anything's super secretive, but showcase how it's lit, and then we're good. Pretty fun. Like I said at the beginning, it's sort of an idea, a three-way idea between myself and my sons, and I'm very happy with the way it came together. So it is good. Close that off, and then we will close that off. No, wait. We need to do andesite. No, that one's done. Just need the lava. Lava, like Lloyd. And which chest did I put the lava in? I totally forget. Wait, what? Oh, I probably put them in over here. That's what it was. It does, yes. Actually, oh, I forgot last time. There we go. The lava. Might as well just leave them in there for now, instead of having to lug them all over. Alasta lava! That's one of my favorite ones that show up as text in my chat. That and Joel's pancake love one, because it comes up as Joel do love. Cool. Boop. Oh, I forgot cobblestone. Well, let's take a look at it lighting up. There we go. Lighting effect. Taking effect. Love it. The neat thing is, as well, is you don't always see the lava. I mean, you can from certain angles. That's right, Joel do love. Your gift to me. Thank you very much. Yay. So they actually give off, shouldn't say they give off a surprising amount of light. I do, yes. So this time when it's nighttime, I am going to, instead of rushing to the bed, I have to remember to go and light the entire thing up. Actually, that can go back there. I'll take this one out. I need a back door exit. Right, like that. All right, so what were we doing again, brain? Oh yes, we were andesite stairs. That's pretty well. We'll just stay low on that for start on stone with that one next, and then we will do that. Do that, and then go higher here a few, with you there, and we'll leave that one low. Cool. And then we'll switch to the stone stairs. And where's the shift key? There it is. Always mistap that one. That's a scary one to mishit. You're expecting to hit the shift key and then you hit something else. Oops. 3, 4. Do. That one. Fantastico. Right there. I'll get that into place. So I'm very much looking forward to the working on the town of Asteria, because as I mentioned with Cosmic's Tree, I mean I love working on this temple as well, but it's because it's one massive project that, you know, from a distance you don't always see the progress. The progress doesn't always seem as obvious. The stairs. Oh, I missed something. Is there something I said? Was there something I said? Or just that I'm using stairs in the actual lighting. We are almost out of the stairs. Alright, and... Cool. We'll have enough stairs to finish this one off, then we'll need to make some more. And then are we at the top of this? Oh, not quite at the top of this one. Fantastic. Looking good, pillar. Yeah. And again, it's like I was saying for your tree cosmic, it's like it feels like there's only so much I can say about it when I'm streaming. Like, yep, placing another stair, placing another stair. Oh, look, there's lava. Placing another stair. Fun to do, but not necessarily fun to narrate whilst streaming. All right, it's nighttime, y'all. Let's go down and take a look at what this looks like at nighttime. I mean, I know I've got a bunch of torches on the ground here, but this is how this place looks lit up at night. Replace stairs for flowers. Yep. That's you and I, alright. The stairs and flowers fairies. And then I'll take a look at what this looks like from afar. Nice. Alright, we're gonna go up. We're gonna do it. We're gonna take a look from up here. Safety be darned. Or stone blocks. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, we'll definitely be done the right side by the time today's stream is done. So that's all nice and lit in there. This is looking good. We've got one pillar done. I'm gonna fill the second one with lava momentarily. And we'll get these three finished off. It'll be awesome when it's done. Does it look? Can you see the glow from the map? Oh, not really. That would have been cool if you could see this a glow from everywhere. You can see all the torches and the lava from above there, but let's whoosh right into bed. Nice, that's awesome. Glad to hear it, Cosmic. Thank you very much. Is that a skeleton on fire? It is. I'm such a child with these things, like... Are there arrows? Oh, there are no arrows. I like to chase after skeletons on fire because I like free arrows. Oh my gosh, we need some potatoes in this system. There we go. Potato chips and crumbs flying everywhere. Do I have any cobblestone on me? I have 2, but I need more. Nom 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 nom. Indeed. And I've mentioned this before on my stream, but I find it incredibly amusing that when you eat, like I don't need to eat right now, but your arms don't move; they just stay by your side, and crumbs just fly everywhere. So you miraculously get the food from your straight arm into your mouth, but the number of crumbs that fly everywhere, I really don't believe there's any food left over. Good question. I believe I did. Hostile 50, friendly 50. Yes, we're good. Cool. Thanks for checking, though. Let's grab a couple cobblestone. Hands-free nomming. That's right. Hands-free nomming's not always the cleanest, but can be the most amusing. So cobblestone that off. Good. Oh, I totally forgot to grab more lava. No. I like swooping into the might as well grab as much lava as I can carry right now. What don't I need on me? Empty bucket? Empty bucket. Granite? Granite, there we go. We've got all the lava on us. Cool. Just wondering if there's anything, any hands-free nom-noms in real life that are worth it. I guess anything that involves a straw, yeah, you're good. Anything else? Not too sure about. Wait, I can put that there. Yes, it goes there. Oops. Because I'm a child, I like to see them lit. I like to see them light up, I should say. It's pretty. Alright, we don't need to watch the entire thing come down, but I do enjoy that. Oh, I need to, right. No, you're probably andesite at the bottom. Were you andesite? No, it must have been stone if I was able to dig out what was there. Alright, cool, now it's done. Done and closed off. Let there be light as Stegosaurus makes their presence known. Hello, Stegosaurus. Welcome. Good to see you here. Glad you were able to make it. Oops, now I totally went the wrong way. I was coming up to pour the lava back down, but I need to build. I need to build from the ground up. And so this will need to be actually that will be the way out, right? All right, cool. Back at it with the stairs. So let's do the usual andesite stairs. Start off. We'll do this. I will go to there, and we'll go 2 higher on, a little bit higher there. Actually, do I have enough stone stairs? I do. Okay, good. There we go. This one should be, well, I was gonna say this one should be way quicker because it is only half the number of stairs, but also I don't have to worry about trying to attach them to posts, so it'll be a quick one. There we are. Place. Oops. No. So how are you doing today there, Stegosaurus? Happy Sunday to you. That, and that's done. I love how quick this one was. Good. Oh, thanks, Aldebar. Thank you very much for popping by. Have a wonderful rest of day. And you're streaming right now, aren't you? That's right. So, or getting ready for your stream. So, have a wonderful stream. And if no one here is following Aldebar yet, do so because he's doing some very cool stuff over there. Love the way his area is turning out, and yeah, you won't be disappointed going over there. That's for sure. The smooth, calm voice of Aldebar. Oops, that is a mistake. Right. Cool. Thanks, Cosmic. So typically just depending on the schedule of my stream, I will sometimes raid Joel afterwards and sometimes raid Aldebar. So depending, I believe I owe Joel, or well, I don't owe anybody anything really, but I think I was in my mind scheduled to give Joel a raid. Yeah. But either Joel or Aldebar after this, you will not be disappointed with the content there. You will not be disappointed picking up the content that they're putting down. Lovely. Keep forgetting. So every time I dug out the stairs, this is actually where I needed to be. Alright, I would do actually this. Alright, that's got andesite there, so I'll do andesite there. But that was stone that I took out there. So we will actually start with nope. Start with stone stairs at the bottom there. And then I will do andesite and then stone. For you, we will do andesite, and andesite, and andesite. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. And then stairs, stairs, magnificent stairs. And I think we'll do. Let's climb this andesite one a little bit higher. Actually, we'll do that, and then we'll do you like that. Oh, that's a wayward stair right there. That's better. 2, 3, 4. So back to an earlier question of yours, Cosmic. What? We should probably have, you're right, stairs as the payment for entry. But I'm not sure what stair type. Maybe we just should allow all stair types be payment, for we do not wish to discriminate. We do not discriminate against stair types. The Temple of Ascension, so. That's what it'll be. Maybe it'll be like a, because it's a Temple of Ascension and a temple to the goddess Asteria, it'll be like a an offering. Are you kidding? I'm at a stone stairs? Who let this guy in here? Well then. That is unacceptable. Down we go. Stairs, glorious stairs. Where will you take them? That's funny. If you don't pay the admission fee, I'll introduce an arrow to the left cheek of your face. That's cruel, but 100% true. More stone. Oops. Stone. Stairs. Stone stairs. It's like a pen, pineapple, apple pen. Oh, an ender fellow. The ender folk. It's the ender folk hero. Ender fellow. Mild-mannered business person by day, although easily agitated when stared directly in the eyes. You can't help but feel challenged. You totally should. Although as someone who's currently working on beautifying Somerville, I do believe as a construction worker there, I do have a pass until the work there is complete. I have free admission when working. If I'm there for my own pleasure, no. I gotta pay. I gotta pay like everyone else. And I've seen Cosmic deal with traveling traders. She has no qualms about just lighting you on fire with a fiery arrow right there. I'm staff until I'm done, and then no free rides. No free meals or whatever the expression is. Two, three, four, and this is the last one. Yeah. Oh, I gotta work on my posture a bit. My shoulder's killing me. Groovy. Oops. This would have been a good time for scaffolding. Very probably. Although I've got a... Oops. I don't always... I'm not always careful swinging my pickaxe or whatever around scaffolding. Same fate as the water. That's fair, I suppose. That's fair. Andesite and andesite. And we'll do some andesite stairs. Yeah, it's done. To the lava drop. To the lava drop. I'd like a hot cup of lava. Slow pour, please. Sorry, sir. Did you mean Java? Nope. I want it extra hot. Talking lava here, buddy. None of this lukewarm garbage. Actually, let's... Did I do that? I did that over there. Good. The lava. And then... Our business here is concluded. Death is imminent. Ha! I poured it down the wrong one. Alright, well let's do something about this right now. Way to go, Steven. Alright. I wonder what it's going to do. I believe I've got it trapped at the bottom. Maybe I should have just done that. Ah, no! I heard it just too late. Oh my goodness, that was some serious damage. Sadness. There's probably finally that one creeper that was up there this whole time that I contemplated offing, but never felt like I had the heart to do it. Ugh. Yard sale! That's right. I'm glad everyone's getting such great use out of that. If for no other reason, it means it was a great addition to the the emote list. All right. Putting everything back where I found it. Oh, where's my silk touch? Oh, there it is. Okay. Shovel. Axe. Food. Stairs and stairs. Okay, cool. Most unfortunate. Well, you're back. You need tea. Speaking of tea, a sippy tea moment. Tea to help recover from that blast. Which now means I just have one more thing I need to do here. Fill in the hole. Ah, me. Alright. So be it. So be it. Now let's go up and fill in the proper hole with lava. Actually, now that I think of it, I can just take the lava. Take the lava. I don't know why that's funny to me. Ever since the Lego Ninjago movie, where they had a character named Lloyd, and his father named him, or kept calling him Lloyd. It was amusing to me. Whee! We will go watch one get lit and the other one get unlit. Steven's first thought after death. A sip of tea would be good. Oh, wait. Lava pours quicker than it goes away. Oh. I didn't know that. Interesting. But yes, you're right, Stegosaurus. You gotta have your priorities straight. Oh. Just regenerated back to life. Tea time. Boop, 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 boop. And take that out, and then, yeah. Alright, to the andesite stairs. That was andesite. That's andesite over. That's stone. All right, let's switch this up. Let's do a stone. Oops. Stone stair, then an andesite stair. That's weird, but we're gonna do it. And then andesite there. Cool, 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 cool. Oops. That's not the right key. It's the wrong key. The wrong key. Or as like we like to call them, wrong key. And then we'll do that. We'll do this. Actually, let's can't get that right. Let's switch to the stone stairs now. Realizing I may not have enough, which is fantastico. Yeah, I'll probably have to come back down after and make some more. Oh well. Such is life. Such is the way with stairs. Stairs. They certainly have their ups and downs. Actually, let's try my luck. Is that what it is? Oh, close. I love stairs, even though they can get me down. Luck of the draw on that one. Or lucky draw on that one, I should say. Cool. How are we doing for time here? It is 11:45. So I thought we'd get a little bit further along than this today, but there were deaths. Let's see. We got another 45 minutes to go on the stream. So we should get. I mean, I've got this and 2 more to fill in with stairs, which should be pretty doable. I'm trying to think, and thinking for Tuesday's stream, I am going to do the interior of my spruce tree now that I've got now that Frostburn has designed the interior. I should make that a real thing. So that might be an interior design / slight adventure stream where I may, just for fun, not gather any of the resources beforehand so that I have to go and get all the things, because some of them use the crimson wood, which I may actually have that already, but in some cases there may be specialty materials I need to go grab. We'll just make that part of the adventure. The grab and go goods. The grab and go of the goods. Yep, of course. We are out of stairs. It's okay. We need to get some sleep happening here before we die. Which means sip of tea time. All right. Tea is good. Nervously checks everywhere. How's the inventory? Let's just go get a bunch of... I should have stone over here, actually. Stone. Stone. Fantastic. Now we shall use said stone to make said stairs. And this is one of the... includes one of those quality of life data packs we use in the Citadel here. So, you know, you get the same number of stairs for the same number of stones that you use. It doesn't make sense that you actually lose material in the creation of stairs. So that's when we've all sort of agreed is... Oh, wait a second. Awesome! I should have kept some of those. I'll just keep a stack of cobblestone on us for building materials. Cool. And up we go! And then once this is done, we light it, and 2 more. Actually, 1.5 more, sort of. That. 1 more. And we were almost done too. Look at that. So close. There we go. Now we can light this one with lava. We'll just save our silk touch pickaxe because we need it not in this descent. Just use that to fill it in, and we've got some andesite, so we'll do that and that. Nope, wrong way. There we go. That should be completely sealed off now. Tis time to drop the lava. And for those of you who weren't here before when I was joking about la lava, that's actually how you say it in French, so it's le lava. So being a child and wait, is that the correct one? No, that's not the correct one. In the right place. I know. I almost didn't. Whoosh. Double whoosh. Nice. Love it. So we will take you out. Oh, I have no room for stairs. Bye bye, bones. Whoosh. And then we will take that. So we're good here. I have not been checking my andesite stair level very well, but... Oops, that's wrong. I'm going to leave one of these really low. After the pillars, I'm going to... well, these lower pillars are almost done for the front area, but then there is also... This monument goes back quite far. Looks like I blocked myself off from where I was before. So this is just the front area of the temple. So it goes off. Make sure I'm not gonna have anything fall on me. But it goes back all the way over there. So I need to... Like, these pillars will continue all the way along there. They'll be embedded in the mountains, so they'll be similar to this one where you won't see the entire thing, but you'll see parts of the drop down, and then it'll go along the back. And so then once that's done, there are more pillars to do in the top level. And then after that, that is an excellent question. For I do want this to make it like a temple that people can visit. Well, actually, I need to clear out this entire area in here so that you can walk back and forth freely. and get to the portal easily. So I've got the portal way in here in the middle, but I don't want it to be hidden. I don't want you to have to go down a tunnel necessarily to get to it. So I've got some tapering of this mountain in here to do as well. It's going to be yeah, there's some tweaking to do for sure, but yeah. But I also want to get I know it's not related to this project, but I'm going to shift my focus back over to Cosmic's Tree as well. And then we're going to get started on the town of Asteria one of these days, which I think will be pretty fun. That's pretty good. Alright, cool, we'll do that. 2. No, let me go 3. Stone stairs? Yes, please. Recommend a beacon maybe if you're going to be digging a lot of that mountain out. Yeah, maybe. It's one of those things where I don't know that I'm not necessarily going to be blitzing the mountain out. It's going to be taking it down and trying to shape it as I go. I mean, you still might be right. The beacon may be the way to go. So then maybe I'll end up with my first ever wither fight. First ever wither battle. I think we've got maybe not a wither battle, we've got a wither spawner, don't we? Wither farm. I'll do some research on that, so I don't want to just go into it and take advantage of the fact that we've got a farm already. I mean, I probably will take advantage of the farm, because why not, but... Place that. And that one, and I think we have probably do this 2 more times. 2 or 3 more times, but I think 2. Nope, 3. Every time that song pauses there, I think it's the Yo song. Yo! Alright, cool. Up we go. So I've been watching, watching a bit of Aldebar and Joel with the terraforming they're doing, so I'm looking forward to doing a little bit of terraforming for the town of Asteria as well. So I'm not sure exactly what I want to do, but I know that I want the river. Maybe I'll have to go add it back in. Well, the Yeah song is from Pretzel Rock. So I may bring it back every once in a while, but maybe just if I bring it back, I won't use it for the drawing streams because it's just so much Nightbot. All right, done. Done. There we go. You in there, and then we had andesite here and here. And I can't remember if we had andesite stair there or not, but that's what's going back in. Hooray. That is sealed off and looking fine. Goodness me, it's looking fine. We will pour a little lava in. The lava. And probably be time to take a quick nap after we swoop down and admire our handiwork. Boing, boing, boing. And this is the correct one. Oops. No. 7. There we go. pretty great. I wish that light would be bright enough to reach all the way across the floor, so I didn't have to light up the middle of it, but such is life. Oh, I see up there, spider. Cool. Alright, let's get in for a nap here before a spider decides I'm a good snack. Okay, going to lurk mode, which just means I'll be watching on my phone. No worries. Always appreciated, Cosmic. Enjoy the lurk, and thank you for it. Ah, tea sipping time. Actually, that's almost done. Just one second. Let's finish that tea off. Oh my goodness, I lied. There was a bigger gulp than that. Almost choked on my tea in the stream. That would have been fantastico. Oh, you're coming down, are you? Look a little confused there, spider. Just please stay away. What is that doing? Can spiders fly? Oh no, it must have had a poison effect on it or something. Well, that's unfortunate, spider. Oh my goodness, I don't need that. I was just trying to think of a clever name that was sort of stair-like instead of... I was just calling it like the Great Stair Temple or Temple of Stairs originally. And I was trying to think of, you know, what are temples made for, like worship. And so I thought, okay, well, when people, you know, this is just, I'm not saying that I'm a super religious person or anything, just when people follow a religion, you know, sometimes it's because they want, you know, guaranteed passage to the afterlife kind of thing, and you know, you raise up in the afterlife. So I thought, well, you know, raising up is the same thing as ascending. So I just decided to call it the Temple of Ascension, just to, yeah, in a similar spirit to that kind of thinking. Similar spirit, no pun intended. But I'll take it. What are we doing? All right, we need stairs. Joel Duggan has joined the game. Ladies and gentlemen, Joel Duggan is in the house. Not literally, but figuratively. This one actually might be pretty... I was going to say might be pretty quick, but I forgot it opened up right about there. Joel du Ape. That's right. Hey, Kendo. Means Joel is going to be starting out very shortly. I'm not sure what he's working on today. I know he's been wanting to fix some of the farms on the Citadel. And I know he was doing that a bit off stream when I started. But I'm not sure. Ah! Yes, Elytra. Oh my goodness. Bob and weave, bob and weave. No, don't shoot at me. Oh, you're wearing gear as well. You're not going to burn up in the fire. Of course you're not. Far enough away? I am. Oh my goodness. That was close. Just stayed out here for a wee bit and replenish. There we go. Thankfully, I was quick enough with the Elytra on that fall that I didn't take any fall damage. Otherwise, I believe I would have been completely dead. Alright. Well, this is going to be a dangerous one to do, apparently. I'll do that for safety's sake. Whoa. It's definitely darker than I would like it to be. But this is just going to be a potentially hazardous place to build. Joel is, yeah, so as I was saying, Joel is probably going to be working on one of our farms that have been down, or he's probably continuing on with what he was doing in the medieval realm. Is that right? That's wrong. Let's do this then. There we go. Much better. Cool. Pillar almost done. There we go. Is this the last one? No, two more, I believe. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. The final pillar of today is near completion. We are almost there. Nice. Alright, back down we go, and let's again save the Silk Touch pickaxe because we need it not. Hello? Oh, weird, okay. I don't know what I was doing there. Very bizarre. There we go, okay. Just not thinking it all the way through. So then we can just use some... I do not wish to be attacked by a zombie when I'm not looking, so let's make this a little too tall for it. Beautiful. Get some cobblestone as filler. There. And then it was andesite, I believe. Yes, because it's right there. Okay. Do. Now we're going to go up. We're going to go up and light the pillar with lava filler. And it be hot just like Ben Stiller. I don't know. That was a stretch, but. Oop. Let's go take a look at this. Nice. That's actually going to light that corner up fairly nicely as well. Just doing a quick creeper check because gosh knows I've been a welcome target for creepers. Oh, that cobblestone can't be there. That looks amateurish. Steven, gosh darn it, what were you doing? There we go, it is nice and lit. So we've got a little bit after 12 right now, so maybe what I'll do is fill in, let's get rid of this dirt. I did not know that's how much they weighed. It's been a while since we've had some Stegosaurus trivia here. So much dirt. I don't know why having the dirt here annoys me, it just... I guess because it's not, I don't really consider it part of the stone structure. So I find it weird and frustrating, even though it shouldn't be frustrating, that it's underneath the wood, that it's part of the structure, unless I actually do something about it. Alright, so let's take a moment and, oh, and then I forget who was asking. Was it a Stegosaurus or Lennox? Another thing I'm going to do is take out all of the stone in front. Basically, I want to make all of this area grass. So that it'll just be more town appropriate. So, it's part of my plan. If it were dirt stairs, then I would have to allow it. I would have to. But since there are no such thing as dirt stairs, sadly, I cannot. I cannot in good conscience allow said things to be there. So let's take a look at this lit up, since it is now the bedtime. Yep. It's going to be awesome. Let's just do a little screenshot action. Nice. Digging that. Oops. Oh, landed right into bed. Nice. I don't know why, but I just remembered when I used to do this. The dirt stair. I just remembered that you used to put the Stegosaurus trivia in there. Indeed. Indeed, it's been a while. Put the dirt in there for later. Get some stone going. Wait, I don't need this, so you can go in there. And then what was I using the stone for again? I forget. Oh yes, filling in the ground. Filling in the ground. I just didn't get all of the dirt. I guess there's not really any need to get all the dirt, because then I'd be... who am I kidding? I'll probably get all that dirt at some point. So let's just do it now. Let's do stairs update. Leaf stairs. Should be able to make stairs out of every item. Swing that shovel like a madman. Yeah, maybe we won't do all of that. Really, for, I guess, dirt-wise, it's only the area underneath that bugs me. Because I don't feel that this would be built on dirt for structural purposes, so... So, in theory, we could always add the dirt. Shake! Could always add the dirt back in afterwards. Oh. No thanks, Siri. Let's do it. We've got the shake command in there. Shake that shovel. Shield, shield. Shake that shovel. Bow. Shake that shovel. Shield, shield. Shake that shovel. Stare. There we go, a new one for you. A new nightmare for y'all. That was great right up until that extreme close-up. Nightmares for weeks, y'all. Alright, clearly I have too many things on me. Fence posts there, I guess, since I do not need them. Let's put string in there because I don't need string, for sure. That's your favorite so far? Okay. Noted. And it is a stair of one kind or another anyway. Right? Right? Laughs nervously at lame joke. Maybe I won't worry about this right now. Oh, what the heck? Let's just do it. Clear this out. I knew at some point this was probably going to come out. And since we've got it opened up, let's just brick in this floor. Oh, weird little bit of server lag. We might get bumped soon. I thought I heard water there for a second. Perhaps not. Where's the stone going? Oh, I used to have one. Right, I used to have one for stone. Not so much anymore. What to do, what to do? Well, let's just put dirt in here because there would be dirt there. I'll take the cracked and mossy. And I don't have any other regular stone bricks in there, but you should be back here, I believe. Cool. We got the filler. And then mossy. Cool. Oh my goodness. Food! Eat food. Sometimes I'm never sure why I go hungry because I watch other people stream and I don't understand how they seem to be able to go for a super long time without eating. And I'm not sure what makes it me need to eat more than I feel like I should need to eat, but whatever. Maybe I'm just not being observant enough and people are actually eating a lot. God. Alright, I guess that's as many of those as we're putting down right now. Doop, doop, doop. Oops. We'll need to go get some more of these because I don't want that many polished or regular stone bricks. I'll just pop a few in. I think I'd rather the floor look more like a ruined floor than not. Ah. Oh, I didn't even get anything fancy from it. Wait, what's in here? Stone. Nope, from here we need more mossy. And right, what are we doing? So we grab the mossy, and we need more cracked. Oh. Welcome to Amateur Hour with Steven ESC, where we place things where they're not supposed to go. 47% of the time. Oh my goodness. Why? I'll put that one there, why not? Cool. Pillars all done. Floor in there. So I guess what we'll do... Oh, might as well do this. How much time do we have left? We've got 15 minutes left. We can do this. So we'll clear this out, and then one of the things we need to do is figure out the lighting pattern for the floor. And once we got that figured out, then we'll do that up. I guess I need to figure out what I want to do. Am I going to do the floor lighting pattern? Is the next priority? Probably will. Might as well finish off the entire bottom floor lighting. And then I will do the pillars on the upper level. No, before I do the pillars on the upper level, I should do the pillars on the back lower level, so that everything on the lower level is done structurally. You know, in some games like Zelda, you can buy, or even like Pokemon Go, you can buy a larger backpack to carry more Pokemon. That would be like an in-game purchase I would happily do. Carry more things on you. I mean, I get it. I should just learn to manage my inventory better, but I would wholeheartedly buy inventory upgrade. Let's put stone over here. So we have chests and chests of stone. Why don't we just keep doing that? Oops. Since I'm going to be picking up a ton more of it right over here, so a metric ton of it, which is bigger. Cool. Oh, it's the night time. The night time. Quick to the bed. Oh. Interestingly, my iPad went to sleep. That's the first time that's happened. In terms of, yeah, having a lot of things, although I must say Frostburn, in terms of what he needs for a speedrun, I admire the level of proficiency with which he manages his inventory. And I would extend that to all speedrunners who are good at that. It's a pretty awesome thing to behold. I think for me is I don't like throwing things out either, so he just super quickly gets rid of things that are not needed, that are just, you know, dead weight in terms of inventory, keeping the things he needs, reorganizing them. CJ, Monsieur CJ, welcome to the chat, my friend. Good to have you here. As always, how are you doing today? Yeah, Frostburn's on another level. How are you this fine Sunday, CJ? Sunday, CJ. Well, perhaps we'll just place these all. There's too much good-looking stone right there. Sheesh. Stone, why are you looking so good? Knock it off. There we go. You pooped. Oh, stayed up too late. What were you doing last night? I'm doing well, thank you. Running out of steam a wee bit from this. Running out of stream steam, just because I'm coming to the end. 2.5 hours without a break seems to be my my limit. Aw, Steven. Hey Linux, welcome back. We're going to be wrapping up probably in about 10 minutes time, but good to have you here. While we are still... Oh, man. Ran out of cracked and mossy stone again. Who's in charge of ordering here? I'm supposed to run low on supplies in midstream? This is embarrassing to the company. 7 hours, holy smokes. Well done. I don't know that I would like to do something like that someday. I don't know, maybe If I ever do a fundraiser special or something like that, that would be fantastico. But I don't even know. I'd have to take a break every hour to an hour and a half. Easily. It'd be so much dead brain cells happening. Cool. Oh, did you down there? Excuse me. So I hear water. I forget where the water is coming from, but over here. So there's definitely water either underground or in the mountainside somewhere. So that's cool. You're at your best when you take a break every 60 to 90. Yeah, okay. Noted. I mean, I know Joel does it every hour, and that's awesome. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm not sure what would work best for me. I'd probably try every hour and a half first, because I'd be just coming down from like 2.5 hours. Oh. See you there, sneaky bugger. Extra close up. Another one up there. Oh, that Skilly died. Okay, cool. I'll take deaths. I don't necessarily need to grab it. Oh, thanks, CJ. Yeah, we've got all of these pillars, the lower pillars, done here. So they're now all lit. So I need to finish the pillars going back that way. Actually, one of the things I haven't done... Thanks, Lennox. One thing I have not done, Katniss... Yeah, that's right. I have not checked to see how far back that goes. I may need to go up to the second level to do it. I probably don't need to add any more pillars going back here. Actually, that might not be true. I need to... No, I don't. Because there's a space of 2 right there. Yeah, so it goes 1, 2, and that's where the next... Actually, I should probably fill that in a little bit, because I would have some stairs and fence, some wall showing up there. So there wouldn't be any there. The mountain in the back, it's going to stay. I want this to look like it's sort of embedded in the mountainside. So I've already tapered down. This used to come out a lot farther, like down. I think that actually came out all the way down to the end of the stone over here. So that was like a long, gradual hill, which is cool, but then it didn't really give a chance to show off much of the temple. So I tapered all of that back to make it a bit steeper, and I'll probably fix it up a little bit to make it look a little more organic. And then I'm going to taper it here some, because I want it to come down more sharply there. And I think I want it so that you can walk from this part into the back part underneath without having to jump over these mountains. Who ordered the rain? Certainly not I. Forecast calls for snow. Much nicer. So back here. So we'll need pillars up on this part. Hey, Crazy Chef, welcome back. So the pillars will need to be placed here between the lower level and the upper level all the way across to here. And then pillars all the way along the back. But the pillars are going to be needed along the back here, only to there. So that the back half of that's not going to be needed. So many people, so little time. I hear ya. I hear ya. So yeah, so we will need to be doing... There will be pillars going all the way across the top at the back. But this kind of stops here on the side. And because that corner of the temple is embedded in the mountain over there, I won't need to put any more pillars along that side over there. So yeah, that's how that's looking right now. All right, I think that might be where we call it for the day. Let's finish up here. I'm going to get myself out in the open so I don't get blown up by anything, so I can just do this. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining in today. It was great to have you here. Thank you for all of you who used your viewpoints on today's stream. I think we had Linux and Man-Made using Linux for Hottie Boy, and Man-Made using their viewpoints for Tuesday's Child. Yeah, again, 1 week from today is when bingo starts. Looking forward to it. It'll be my 1-year Twitch anniversary. So Sunday, May 23rd at 10:30 a.m. Atlantic Daylight Savings Time. Steven ESC will be celebrating, or quote unquote celebrating, 1 year on Twitch. So we're introducing the new bingo game, which will be around, I say forever right now, but the plan is to have it as an ongoing thing. And then also fun little announcement, Father's Day, which is June 20th this year. Firepith and Frostburn are going to be joining me as we finish, or not finish, but do a chunk of work on Cosmic's Great Oak. So everybody, thank you so much for being here. We're going to raid Joel if you want to hang tight here and be a part of that. That'd be awesome. I'm going to switch to my thank you screen now so we can initiate that raid, and enjoy very much the rest of your day. Thanks again, everyone. Bye!